It is hot. All right, I'm outside doing the yard. Today's like 95 degrees. It's hot, and I love it. But right now, I took a break, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna take a break, like not do anything. Right now, this little fan from Walmart feels good. That's a little plug. This Lasco fan feels awesome. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna work on my wife's Trike. Since I have purchased a bike for her, you guys haven't really seen the Trike. You know what I'm saying? And she's been riding it. We've been riding. July 4th, her and I had a good ride together and everything. I'm getting some water first, and then we're gonna get this thing done. I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna transfer that seat and get it situated, you know what I'm saying? So, damn, this water tastes good. This water tastes good. All right, let's take this thing. That's a beautiful machine, guys. If y'all wondering where I got this from, Southern Honda Power Sports, you guys are asking about the cost. It's expensive. It's about $50,000 because the Trikes, they don't come, Honda doesn't make Trikes, okay? Honda only makes the motorcycle. So Jackal, in order for me to get a Trike like Jackal, I would have to send Jackal over to Motor Trike or California Sidecars, and they will take it and Trike it. But Honda does not make Trikes, just in case you don't know. So you can actually buy the motorcycle, call Motor Trike or California Sidecars, and you tell them you got a Goldwing that you want to Trike out, and they will Trike it out. That's how it works, okay? So we're taking that seat off, and we're gonna put on a new seat. Something to accent the bike, give it a classy look. All right, so there's some little cover caps, right? They're just covers. And we're gonna remove this with a screwdriver. Just plug it out, pull it out, should I say? And that's gonna give you access to those little screws that we need. Actually, this is the second thing that I did on the bike. The first thing I did was I put the phone charger on here, but I did not run the cable, so I'm gonna do that when I install all the lights and stuff like that. But at least she has a phone holder. She didn't care about the cable much, so she said that's no hurry for her. But, you know, I'm about to take over the bike because leave it up to my wife. She's not a, I need this, I need that person. You know what I'm saying? But I want her bike to look good. I told y'all there's a bolt here. It's not even a 5mm, I'm sorry. It's, I believe it's a 6mm hex. So let me grab a 6mm. All right, so I got the 6mm. They got some cables ran through here, so I gotta be careful not to lose this bolt. So here's something handy to have, right? And that's a magnet. I have a magnet, but right now I won't need it. All right, boom, we're gonna do the same thing on the left side, and then we're gonna get the seat up. This is exciting, man. I'm learning how to work on the Trike, learning how to work on my regular Goldwing, learning how to work on Rue, because that one right there, the Adventure Twin, the Africa Twin, man, I done ripped that bike apart already. If anybody know me, they know that bike has already been taken apart. You know what, while I'm down here, I think I'm gonna look to see if I can find the cable for her phone charger and just run that phone charger. I also have the belly pan to install on this bike as well. And that's another thing, because I'm like, okay, how do I jack it up properly and then get underneath this properly and then all blah, 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 blah. So I might make this video, all of that. It's like a little slot. It's like a little slot here in the seat. You pop it up, and then you're gonna pull it forward. You're gonna wiggle it forward, and it's gonna pull out. All right, so I found a wire. So before I put the seat on, like I said, I'm just gonna install this and put the cable in here pretty quickly. What I wanna do, I wanna find I guess a pathway where this can run, right? Where the wire can run. And it's kind of tricky in the beginning, but basically you get a string, something pretty firm, something solid, and you kind of work your way in and see what leads to what, right? Because I want to get this to lead up to the front. Here it is. So I got this ran up here like that. Got me so far? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some tape, some electrical tape, and we're going to hook the one end of that cable and pull it through, and hopefully we won't lose it. Just like this. And I'm going to see if it can bring me up to where I need to go without anything, stopping it from going through properly. And I like to wrap this up really good. That way I know I got at least a nice grab, so it's not going to pull away so easily from this. So I want it to really hold on, which is going to give me enough tension to be able to pull this through. This way might be a little bit too tight. I'm not sure yet. I'm not getting the clearance that I really want. Yes, something is jamming me here, right? There we go. I think I got something. There we go. All right. We got it through. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna plug this underneath here, right where it goes. And then I'm gonna check the length of how much wiring I need. And then we're gonna remove all of this to be able to run this wire neatly. Now, I might not even remove anything. I might just, you know what? I'm just gonna zip tie it to that. Just wanna give it enough room and make sure that we have some slack on this thing. That's it. I'm gonna use one more zip tie. And where I have this thing running, it's in a nice, safe location. Nothing crazy is going on down there. So I figured I'll do this before I put the seat on. So that's one more thing that's done on the Trike. And I'll be happy about that. Now I'm not making it too tight yet. I'm still giving it some slack that I can still pull and make the adjustments that I need to make. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is remove this. It's the fuse box. And get this off. And we're gonna connect the positive, the negative, okay? Positive, negative. So I'm gonna run this through this little spacing right here, just to make enough room. And then I'm gonna zip tie the rest of this nice and neat. And I'm going to run this to where it's not, in the way of anything. And I'm gonna do a little wrap up and tuck it in a corner someplace, all right? You're not gonna see none of this stuff, because remember, this is all under the seat and behind the panels. And I'm gonna tuck that in, all right? I'm gonna go with the positive first. Let me get my light to ensure that I'm checking. The top is the positive. So we're gonna connect the positive terminal first. Man, this thing is thick. Should have had a smaller. I might have to cut this down. I might change this out, this crimp. Because you see this? It's too thick. So I'm gonna snip this. I'm gonna use my little stripper and I'm gonna strip it just a tad. That's probably even too much, but it's okay. If it's too much, I'll just trim it down. And then we're gonna take one of those clamps and I'm gonna push it right in like this. And we're gonna clamp it. But like I said, I don't want it to be so long. And I think that's gonna be all I need. And you wanna make sure that it is touching where it needs to touch in that metal. And I'm gonna take my little clamp tool, the middle's the red, and I'm going to clamp this bad boy down. Now it feels like it could be tighter. There we go. Now I feel better. Now, same thing for the negative. Guys, it's good to have these little assorted tools, especially when you're learning stuff on your bike. And we're gonna strip it. That looks perfect. I don't think I have to change anything on that. Same treatment. Hold that in place, and we're making sure that that is in contact with the metal. And we are going to clamp this down. There we go. Let's get this in that little slot, and let's not lose the screw again, Sensei. Don't lose it again, okay, pal? All right, you see how this fits perfectly in that slot now? I don't have nothing squeezing, nothing forced, right? It fits the way it needs to fit. That's a plus. So we're gonna do the same exact thing for the negative. I'm gonna take this negative out. And get those little magnets, man, because you are going to drop these little screws. I promise you, they're going to fall. And these little antenna style magnets, they look like this. This one is kind of cheap. I'm going to get me a better one because this thing is worn out. But, you know, you're able to retrieve your screws when you lose. And another thing I'm going to hook up here, too, I'm going to put the distribution block. The goal is to get a lot of things done while I can and just get it finalized. I might even put lights on. You know what? Let's make this a whole install video on this trike. All right, let's do that. Woo. Now we talking. Let's go. Now this should close better. There we go. All right, so good news. It's working. I don't know if y'all could see it, but it's charging. And that's what I'm talking about. And if I turn the bike off, it should turn off as well. There we go. If I turn the bike back on, it should go right into charging mode. There you go. It's charging. Okay, let's do this. Let's do the distribution block. All right, so here's what I'm going to install on Yana's trike also. I'm going to put the distribution block. This is like an extension cord that, you know, you plug in multiple stuff in your house. That's what this is for your Goldwing. And I'm going to also do the Gold Strike, what's this called? The light panels for the engine light panel. I'm going to install that as well. All right, so let's do that and get that out the way too. So this is just a plug and play. And I'm going to find, back here is very different. My first time looking inside of this thing, I get to look all the way down in here in this trike and see everything. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. All right, so look, here's a cable here. And I'm going to plug this out. It's a simple plug and play. All right, and this is going to connect to this, and this is going to take the place of that, and it's going to be an internal circuit. Okay, and I'm going to run this underneath this frame right here, under it, just like that. That's it for the right side. Okay, the same thing. There's another one that comes with it, and we're going to do that same thing. I'm going to run it under. There we go. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to locate that piece. It only goes one way. If you try to put it in another way, it ain't going to go. That's that. You have the left side and you have the right side, okay? So this says left and this says right. So I'm going to place it down here. And I'm going to put it in this to the corner. Oh, by the way, this is like if you have a trailer connector and you want to connect that. So I'm going to tuck that wire down as well. And this is what's going to connect to the battery. So you want to make sure that you have enough space for your battery, okay? Those color wires, just tuck it down and let this thing sit just like so, and then make sure you have enough room to run your battery. The wires that we just hooked up on the harness, this is going to go in. Let me see if I'm backwards. There we go. That's going to go in here. Listen for the click. And then you do the same exact thing on this side. And listen for the click. And once it's clicking, you're solid. All right, so we're going to connect the positive first, and then we're going to do the negative. All right? Let's get this off. This does not take long, as you guys see, but I'm showing you guys how it's done on the trike the same way I do it on my actual regular Goldwing, the non-trike version. Let's line that bad boy back up. Get it in the direction where you want it. Boom. We're going to do the same thing now on the negative. So I like to get the wires to actually go in the right direction, because in case anything is in the way, I like to get it to go either downwards, but not up. Because, you know, when it goes up, you're probably going to hit something, and it's not going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Nice and tight, and I'll do the same thing over here. You don't got to make your battery terminals super tight, but you want to make it tight enough. That way you feel confident that nothing is going to go loose. Okay, so for this engine light panel, there are two 5mm bolts that we're going to take out. Okay, they're hex head bolts. We are going to remove those, and we're not going to use them again. And you're going to do the same thing on both sides. And we're going to do the same exact thing that we had to do to figure out how we want to run the wire. Now, when you're installing this, there is a left and there is a right. Okay, there is a left and there is a right. Now, what comes with this kit, of course, is this piece. We just took that off. It's going to go right there just like that. That's the easy part. The hard part is running your wires. Once again, is finding out where you're gonna run your wire. And there are 4 spacers and 4 bolts. That is what's gonna take the place of what we just took out. So you're just gonna basically push the spacer in there, in that slot, just like that. All right? You're gonna put this in its place, just like that. And your wire, I would recommend to start just kind of fish it through here, just to get it in this position. That way I get a little idea of where I'm going to go. So we'll get the easy parts done first. And then we're gonna take these bolts that comes along, that came with this package. The difference in this is that it is not a 5mm. It's a little different size, and I believe it's a 4mm. Okay, so this is gonna go right through that spacer. And I'm gonna do the other one. I'm not making it really tight right away. If you use a regular ratchet, you're gonna scratch this, so be careful of that. So we're gonna run the wire, and we're gonna use the same concept that we just did when I told you I had to use the just the wiring, the cable to run the wire. So all I'm doing now is I'm gonna find a little spot, and I want the wire to run through here, okay? So let's see where we can find a pathway. I think I could do better than that. All right, so I think I found a nice little pathway here, but I have to use a little hook to hook the this little metal thing to guide it to where I want to guide it to, because I want it to come out to me. Almost got it. All right, there we go. All right, so we got that here. So here we go. Let's see if this is going to give us a nice pathway and we don't get too much resistance. But remember, tape it enough that way you have some ability to pull it, and to make it that way, you know, it's not going to pull away easily. Bada boom. All right, I'm going to pull this through. All right, I see some resistance already. All right. Perfect. That was excellent. Let's see if I can get enough curve. There we go. Got that zip tie towards me. Boom, boom. There we go. You don't need all that excess wire. And there's a cover that I took off, by the way. That cover just gave me enough room to look through where I needed to go. And this cover just snaps back into place. I want to make sure that that's in. Now I'm happy. Okay? Let's keep it moving, baby. Let's keep it moving. So, the distribution block that we installed, this end that we just ran, I'm going to take off the tape, and we're going to connect this on the left side, and we're going to test if this wiring works. So this is going to literally just plug in. This is going to plug into one end. All right? So let me show you. So I'm going to disconnect this. I'm going to plug this out. I'll pull that up, just a little cover, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to push it in. Hold on, I got just one hand. Hold on a second. Let's just do this the right way. Let's get this so you can see what I'm doing. Right, so I'm going to plug this in. And remember, it can go only one way. It's actually shaped for it. So that's in. So let's see if the light works now. And that's going to be the true test. If it works, then we're done. There you go. It works like a charm. And it indicates like a charm. Now, the right side is always going to be different. It's not going to run the same exact way as the left side, okay? It's a little different. Spacers go in. We're going to put that light in a spot. Let's get this on. It's the easy part. Remember, if you use a ratchet, a regular ratchet that's not as skinny as this, you might scratch the top a little bit, so be careful. All right, let's see if this pathway is gonna work or not. Remember, it's all about a test run, and if you find yourself having to force too much, then chances are you are not in a good pathway. All right, so you gotta find a pathway that has, you're gonna get a little resistance because you're pulling it through stuff. But if you're forcing it too much, then it's no good. All right, so we're almost done with this. Let's see what we get. There's a wire, a cable right here, and it look like it's gonna be a little headache, man. I hope not. All right, I could see it. I could see it pulling off. It's pulling away because that cable there, yes. Woo, man, I almost lost it. But guess what? I got it through. And that's the beautiful behind this. The beauty. I love it when the plans come together like B.A. Baracus from the A-Team. If you're old enough, you know what the A-Team was. Hannibal, Faceman, Murdoch. I always forgot the girl's name. B.A. Baracus. All right, we're gonna pull this through the rest of the way. I'll make sure I'm not snagging on anything. Oh, what's this? There we go. Don't get too cocky when you're pulling through. Just take your time and still pull. Pull gently. Right side connection. We're gonna zip tie. We're gonna make sure that we neaten this up as much as possible. So we're gonna just, fold it up, wrap it up, whatever way you wanna call it. We're gonna grab a zip tie that came in the package, and we are going to just neaten this bad boy up. There you go. And we're gonna plug this into the right side. And I don't like to see zip ties hanging, so let me just get my little snipper and just snip that. Once we snip it, and then we're gonna test it to make sure that the right side works. And once we got that side, then the light is done, it's installed. I'm gonna tuck that. Okay. All right, let's see if the light works when we turn it on. I should have no problems with this. There you go. Bam, indicator. Let's see the left, the right indicator. Done. Let's button this bad boy up. Let's put this back together and then see how it looks. Now, this seat is a little different from your stock seat. The stock seat, right? It has these little plugs right here. They push into this little slot. The Ultimate seat doesn't have that. But you have to make sure that you line up that hook on the back. And there's a slot where this hook lines up. You got to push it under. And I got to tell you guys whatever issues I go through and how I had to fix it. So let's find out how this one fits. Okay. Let's see what we got. And there should be no gaps. Should be 0 gaps. So you got to basically hammer fist this back, right? But make sure that it fits in the groove evenly. And when you look at it, you have to make sure there's no gap. Like everything has to fit flush. Ooh, this thing look good, boy. I ain't gonna lie. So when you're putting the seat on too, you gotta to line up the hole, you have to play with the opening, okay? You gotta tap it back and forth until the hole actually lines up. And once it lines up, then the bolt will go in with no problem. Let me see if I have if I'm lucky, as lucky on this side as I was on that side. And try to line this thing up. Like right now, this side is not lined up properly. So I have to kind of play with it just to make sure that it goes right where it needs to go. And it's a damn workout, I'll tell you that much. It's a workout. It's a great way to work up a damn good sweat. But when it's put together, it's perfect. And the wife, she's gonna be happy. Oh yeah, that's done. Whew. All right, the final piece of the equation is putting the backrest on this bad boy. Backrest simply is gonna slide in. Make sure I have it oriented to the proper direction. There we go. The backrest is in. And we got, Let's see how this looks. Beautiful. Got the fold down, come up. You could also make the adjustments right here. There's a screw where it determines how much more further it goes. So for Yana, she's pretty short. So I'm gonna bring this all the way back, or bring it in some more. So when she sits down, the backrest would be, you know, in a good position for her. What a day, man, what a day. All right, so I'm back, I'm gonna go back out to the yard. So we got that installed. I'm happy with the outcome. The cables, everything is looking good with the phone line. The light is installed, the distribution block is installed, the seat is installed. So yeah, I'm happy about it, I like it. So now we're gonna get a couple more things in the bike to accent that brown tone that's gonna complement the green and all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, woo! All right, guys, I'm out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on everything you've seen so far on this channel. Peace.